Launches, puts up a three. Won't go. Rebound Bosch. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining.
Allen with the tap in, and he's got 6 for Georgetown. Brown. Coleman. Up the top! No! He drops the end zone! Are you kidding me?
Reed wins the series. It's Lillard. He got the shot off.
Best of 7 Sports Talk Radio with 7 Mitchell.
Welcome back to another installment of Best of 7 Sports Talk Radio here on T7M Radio. I am your host, as always, the kid. 7 Mitchell, man, we locked in. It's time to embrace debate. All my basketball heads, y'all call up 347-989-8102. It's about to go down. Most definitely, you already know how we give it up. Tonight on deck, man, I'm about to break down the 5 reasons why the Black Mamba, the one and only Kobe Bryant, was better than Mr. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. No doubt. Callers, man. Call up. It's going down. Once again, 347-989-8102. If you on Facebook, make sure y'all join the T7M Radio Facebook debate group. Also subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, T7M Radio. Going to be jumping off with a whole bunch of dope debate shows and topics for the Best of 7. This is the 2nd season, so I appreciate everybody locking in tonight. We're going to go ahead. We're not going to waste too much time, man. We're going to go ahead and get into these 5 reasons that I feel like Kobe Bryant was better than the homie MJ. So check this out, man. Number 5. Reasons that I feel like Kobe Bryant was better than MJ himself. Respect. Now, granted, all across the board, we all know Michael Jordan is an icon when it comes to sports, not just basketball, sports. Well respected. But I look at team chemistry. Now, we know the friction that Kobe had with Shaq. We also know that kind of developed 3 championships. We also know friction that Jordan had with some of his teammates, and that kind of developed into 6 rings, so I can't really knock it, but stories, that came out from Chicago players, teammates of Michael's when they left, that I was kind of surprised. We've seen Horace Grant had an opinion about how things went down with Michael when he was apart. We know how Scottie Pippen felt. There was a couple of different players that had, different opinions on how they felt like, shit was with Chicago. So I feel like the internal respect may or may not be. I mean, he even had to put hands on Steve Kerr. I mean, let's be real. So, overall, I think when it boiled down to the locker room respect, I think that the teammates, even though it has to be a little bit of a level of jealousy with Michael Jordan, we definitely take that in consideration when it comes to Scottie Pippen. I just think overall, Kobe had that respect from the locker room from the gate, even with the split up with Kobe and Shaq, even with Phil departing. It just did not seem like, even though the outsiders are blaming Kobe, whoever was in that locker room for Kobe, for whatever it's worth, I know the roster wasn't that crazy, but, they pretty much kept everything in-house and never really spoke on it. So I think the respect factor, number 5 reason why Kobe Bryant was better than Michael Jordan. Number 4 reason why I feel like Kobe Bryant was better than Michael Jordan. Bright lights of Los Angeles. Now, what can I say? Chicago is where it's at, the Willie City, history when it comes to the sports. Chicago Bears, Chicago Cubs, Chicago Bulls, a lot of history in it, but it's nothing like the bright lights in the city of Los Angeles. And for Kobe to be able to put on for 20 years at a historical pace, Hall of Fame pace, from the start to finish, Kareem didn't do it. Magic did it, but, outside of Magic, man, we have not seen another great Laker, I think, play the duration of his career. Maybe Jerry West did. Outside of that, it was just magnificent to see Kobe hold it down in the bright lights. There's so much pressure. They have so many superstars, so many celebrities. Everybody, showed a lot of love and respect for Chicago, but nobody was really making any trips traveling to Chicago. Michael Jordan to me was box office wherever he go, but nobody was going to Chicago the United Center, the Chicago Stadium, like they, do with LA. The stars come out, of course, Hollywood. So I really feel like Kobe being able to play and excel in those bright lights, unbelievable. Now Michael put on the road, of course. Michael is arguably the greatest, one of the greatest. This is a real dope debate, but I just feel like the bright lights of LA and Kobe being able to handle that for 20 years, man, 2 decades. Definitely the number 4 reason why I feel like Kobe Bryant is better than Michael Jordan. This is the best of 7 Sports Talk, T7M Radio, 7 Mitchell. Callers, y'all call up 347-989-8102, breaking down the 5 reasons Kobe Bryant is better than MJ. Callers, man, I'm letting y'all know my Twitter. Matter of fact, follow me on Twitter right now at 7 Mitchell, SEVENMITCHELL. My followers are lighting me up right now, talking about how blasphemous I'm being about the great MJ not being better than Kobe Bryant. Getting back to the countdown, number 3 reason why I feel like Kobe Bryant is better than Michael Jordan, MVP status. Now, I understand, and the numbers can be very tricky, and I want to be clear. I'm totally clear on how Kobe has played damn near 2 decades of basketball. Michael Jordan have only played about 15 seasons. When it comes to season MVPs, Michael Jordan, I believe he has about 5 MVPs. Kobe only has 1 MVP, Finals MVP. Michael Jordan has 6 to Kobe's 2 Final MVP. So when it comes to the MVP, when it comes to the numbers, I feel like Michael definitely trumps Kobe when it comes to the numbers of MVP. But one thing I will say, Michael was able to play with not 1, 2 of the top 50 NBA players in history outside of himself and Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen. Now, Dennis Rodman wasn't there for the whole stretch of 6, but I believe he was there for the stretch of 2 or 3. And, of course, Scottie was there for the stretch of 6. And then you got arguably one of the best coaches in NBA history there for the stretch of 6. Now, Kobe, on the other end, he did have Shaq for that 3-year run. Shaq is definitely somebody in the top 50. But the second go-round when he came back with Phil and won the 2, he had the right pieces. But I really won't consider Andrew Bynum a top 50 NBA player. I don't consider Ron Artest, Lamar Odom, or Paul Gasol a top 50 NBA player. So even though the numbers clearly show that Michael Jordan, as far as the season MVP, was most valuable player, I don't know, man. I look at what Kobe was able to do with less. And, he made it work for him. Both ways you look at it. Michael had 1 person from the top 50 on each of the 3-peats. He had Scottie Pippen on the first, and then when they ran the 3-peat for the second go-round, he had Scottie and he had Dennis Rodman, along with Phil Jackson. Kobe coming in early, he had Shaq in the first 3. But the second 2, going back-to-back in 2007, 2008, which we're going to talk about as well, that to me made it seem like, Kobe was more valuable, to his team than Michael. I mean, Michael was, like I said, Michael set the standard, and I feel like Kobe kind of raised the reason why I feel like Kobe Bryant is better than Michael Jordan. Clutch. Game winners. I mean, now, clutch doesn't necessarily mean the last shot. You can come up big in the first half, in the quarters, make big plays, different things that make you clutch. But when it comes down to game winners, we know what Michael do, with the tongue out, and we know how Michael give it up at the end. But it's something special about the way Kobe Bryant is able to close. If you ask me, if you ask a lot of different pundits in the media, I believe Kobe Bryant is probably the best closer in NBA history. The way even the shots that he takes, there is no other man other than Michael Jordan that probably, to me, that I've seen has been able to get off with the ability, the flexibility to get off some of the shots that I've seen Kobe make time and time and time again. Just to be able to get the shot off is one thing. then to make the shot, that's another thing. But then to make it at the end of the game, you know, when you're down, not when you're tired, when you're losing. Like, you put all of this in perspective, man. We have seen Kobe do this so many times. I mean, in the postseason, not just the regular season, in the postseason when it really counts. Now, I do give credit to Michael Jordan. A lot of times he's so dominant. The Bulls have been so dominant. A lot of games may have not come down to the stretch, put his enemies and opponents away early. So I definitely give him credit for that. But when it comes down to clutch, when it comes down to the last shot, you know, we've seen Michael win the championship, you know, with the holding the pose, and we've seen Michael do a lot of things at the end. But a lot of times, you know, the game has been tied. I've seen Kobe Bryant make a lot of unbelievable shots from unbelievable positions on unbelievable places on the court when they were down with no time left or with seconds left in the playoffs, postseason, regular season. So however you want to give it up, man, clearly to me, Kobe being Bryant is more clutch than Michael Jordan. And the number one reason I feel like the Black Mamba Kobe Bryant is better than Michael Jordan clearly is durability. And I know we've been waiting to talk about the numbers, and the numbers are so funny because, like I said before, Kobe has played 2 decades, 20 years in the league. Michael has only been 15 years. Michael has pretty much had the numbers that Kobe has had at a way faster rate. So kind of by default, I understand why people may feel that, you know, Michael's the best. He hasn't played as long, you know, and his numbers, you know, was up there. Kobe are just eclipsing him as of the last couple years in a lot of stats. But the bottom line to me is Kobe is leading. And Kobe, even though Kobe has played 4, 5, 6 more seasons, Kobe's leading in points. He's leading in almost all offensive categories over Michael Jordan. And I credit it to durability. You know, Michael Jordan, when Jordan and we look at Jordan, they come off the repeat, the three-peat after the second time in 96, 97 year. This is when Kobe was his rookie year. Now, Kobe only averaged 15 minutes a game that year. I think he averaged like 7 points a game. Michael averaged 29 points a game. That was their third. That was the three-peat, the 96, 97 year. So Michael went from 29 points a game down to about 28, a little over 28 the next year. Then that was the last year in Chicago. He shot about 48% from the field those last 2 years in Chicago. Now, in Kobe, his first 2 years in L.A., he was about 7 points a game, 15 minutes average. And then the next year, I think he averaged about a little over 15 points. But then Michael Jordan, 1998-99, goes to the Washington Wizards. And in 98-99, he averages about 22.9 points a game from 28.9 the year before back with Chicago. And then in 99-2000, we all know Michael Jordan got fat, and he averaged a whopping 20 points a game. Now, mind you, Kobe on the flip side, when Michael went to the Wizards, Kobe, for the first time in 98, he started averaging 30 minutes a game. That was 19, a little bit over 19 points a game, a little under 20 points a game. And then when they first won their first championship out of that three-peat with Shaq in 99, 2000 season, I believe, he averaged about 22.5 points a game. So you see the complete elevation of Kobe Bryant from the 98-99 season, from the 97-98 season, and the complete drop-off for Michael Jordan from 97 to 2000. And Michael Jordan, I mean, when we look at why Michael Jordan kind of stepped away from the game, to me, I don't recall Michael Jordan have a lot of big damn health problems. You know, it was age and nutrition, but, you know, Father Time, you cannot beat Father Time. I clearly understand that, but, you know, Michael kind of went out pretty much on his own. So if he wanted to pull it out for another couple of years, if the situation was right, I'm pretty sure he could. There was a lot of rumors talking about he would possibly come back at 50, and a lot of far-fetched speculation, shit like that. But for the most part, it was out there. So I feel like, you know, Michael was not as durable as Kobe. Kobe was able to do this for 2 decades. He was able to pull off 5 championships. He was able to pull off a repeat with no top 50 players. with no top 50 players, and this is in the 2000 millennium. You got to take in consideration too, and this is what I talk about durability. Kobe Bryant was able to pull this off in 2 different generations. Now, he was part of that Michael era. Now, Michael was leaving when Kobe was coming in, but Kobe got a nice fair piece of that action while Michael was still in the game. And then to be able to convert to now, to this time, and we know what Kobe been doing for the last 10 years, outside of this last couple seasons, of course, because of injury. You know, Kobe won back-to-back championships. Like I said, it's unbelievable that the Black Mamba is able to excel in both generations. We see that these guys are way more athletic. The game is way more faster. It caters to a lot of shots. We got the three-point shot. There wasn't a lot of three-point shooting, back then. So, Kobe was able to change and elevate the game in both eras. That's what Michael was playing, and right now. And I feel like, to me, that's what make him the greatest. When Michael came in the game, Michael was so much ahead of his time when he came in the league in '84. It was just like everybody in the league was kind of has-beens. Michael shocked the world. But Michael, to me, he did his thing in his era, and when that new wave came, Michael was just gone. Michael didn't have to deal with LeBron and D-Wade and, the Kevin Durant's, and, Kobe is going to chip off of these guys. So he's won 2 of them. So without top 50 players. So I credit that to Kobe, and I know I'm being real disrespectful, but that's it. The top 5 reasons that I said like Kobe Bryant is better than Michael Jordan, man. Salute to each and everybody that called up. That's the 7 Sports Talk. I'm your host, 7 Mitchell.